One of my plans in Baku is to visit the Yanardagh to see the natural gas flames that burn continuously on the hillside near Baku. For me, it is just a curiosity because many cultures have the idea of the eternal flame as part of their tradition. Ancient native civilizations, the Jewish, the Zoroastrians, Christians, even Hindu temples treasure an eternally burning flame. And I wonder how many naturally burning flames would have impressed the ancients. So, my first stop is the Yanardagh. Well, legend has it that this particular fire was started by a shepherd who seemingly carelessly flung a cigarette butt in the early 1950s, and it has been burning ever since. But then, this was just the beginning of a journey that opened up an atlas for me, one that combined geography, history, and mythology. So, our next stop is the Atishgah, which is also called the Fire Temple of Baku. This is where I get curious. Azerbaijan was an Islamic nation before communism took over. So, what is a fire temple doing here? The inscriptions at the Atishgah says that the fire temple was used by Zoroastrians from India and Hindus till the 19th century. Probe a little deeper and you realize that one of India's best hidden secret is the influence of Persian Empire. And when I say Persian, I don't mean Islamic Persian, but Zoroastrian Persian. Under Darius the Great, the greatest of the Achaemenid emperors, the Persian Empire included Western Asia, parts of the Balkans and the Caucasus, much of the Black Sea coast, Central Asia, Indus Valley, parts of North and Northeast Africa, Maghreb, including Egypt, Libya, and Sudan. Darius, like his father Cyrus, respected native religious institutions and beliefs, but he also made Zoroastrianism the state religion of the Persian Empire, which means that this huge chunk of the world had a Zoroastrian influence 500 years before Christ. This influence continued till, till late 7th century, 642 AD, when the Arab forces united under the new flag of Islam and vanquished the Persian Sassanid dynasty and ended the influence of Zoroastrianism. Today, there are only about 15 to 20,000 Zoroastrians in Iran. Their ancestors, who fled Islamic persecution to Gujarat, India, are now the world's largest population of Zoroastrians, called Parsis in India. Later, when I visit the Maiden Tower, as I mentioned in my earlier video, there is enough Ahura Mazda legend to remind us of the influence of Zoroastrians in this region in those times. Later, when I'm back in the hotel, I think of the Zoroastrian priest called Magi traveling with the conquering armies of Achaemenid emperors and coming upon these perpetually burning fires. Imagine how awestruck they must have been. For the Zoroastrians, the fire was considered the presence of Ahura Mazda. Its brightness and purity were the physical representation of light and truth. And here it was, burning, unending in the hillsides. They must have felt a little like Moses coming upon the burning bush. If we step back further, we can see more connections in the presence of Ahura Mazda in the flame and that of Agni in the flame. Somewhere in the vast mountains of Central Asia, there lived a people who left us a lot of ideas that we carry today. They lived long before the armies of Archaemenids, the Macedonians, the Arabs, the Mongols, and the later Western powers who started marching, conquering, and destroying. Some of the ideas those people left us are gone forever. Some live on. There are some links we can see, but many are severed forever and lost to history. But when you stand at the Atishgah and think of Zoroastrians and Hindu merchants and priests trudging all the way up to the Grand Trunk Road and then up to the Silk Road, then stopping at the Atishgah to pray, at that moment you have to admit that the fire was not just burning on the hillside, it was burning deep within deep within them as well. Some call it Ahura Mazda, some call it Agni.